Hey folks, thanks for joining me once again. Well, today we're going to be having a look at a brew that was given to myself and my colleague Wendouree by our esteemed leader at Christmas time. It's this brew here, O'Brien gluten-free premium lager, which comes in at 4.5% alcohol by volume. So being that it's gluten-free for people with celiac disease, it doesn't have barley or wheat in it. So what do they use? Well, I believe it's millet and sorghum. Yeah, so it's a special brewing process that they employ to create this beer. So those people with that sad affliction can enjoy a beer, which is a really good thing. Anyway, this is probably the most common one you'll encounter in Australia. There are lots out there, but this seems to be the most common from my experience. Anyway, let's pour it out into this Pilsner glass and make an assessment. All right. Okay. So have a look at that appearance, folks. It's yeah, a very, very pale yellow color. Yeah, very clear and quite effervescent too, as you can see. Yeah, it's even more pale than a Budweiser actually. Yeah. Anyway, and I think when I poured it, there was about a finger of bright white head, but that's dissipating very quickly into a fine ring. Anyway, let's move on to the aroma. All right, there's something there. It's a somewhat strange aroma, actually. Sort of sweet, maybe a little sort of floral, actually, yeah. But yeah, definitely a very faint aroma. Anyway, unlike anything I've smelt before, well, in terms of beer. So we've talked about the appearance and we've talked about the aroma. So it's time for the most important part of the review, the taste test. So cheers to you all. Let's dive into this one. All right, well, up front, I'm getting a malt-like taste. It's definitely very crisp, clean, and refreshing. The bitterness is very minimal on this one. As far as the body goes, I find it to be extremely thin. Yeah, almost like your lightest of light beers out there. But yeah, I mean, being my first beer of the day, it's still hitting the spot. All right, so on that note, let's have another gulp. All right, well, yeah, definitely has some very subtle sort of, you know, flavors there. Yeah, I mean, it still tastes like a beer, but it's definitely, you know, leaning towards your, in terms of, you know, comparable sort of taste, you know, your light beers, and I don't mean like your American light beers, your Australian light beers that are, you know, in the 2 to 3% ABV range. Yeah. But this, in fact, is 4.5% ABV. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I think lets it down is that it doesn't have much in the way of body and it is quite watery, but still, if this is all you can drink, it's probably still going to satisfy you. Now, is it drinkable? Well, yeah, sure. Is it something you could session? Well, of course, at 4.5% ABV. What would I say in terms of the price point? Well, again, that's something that lets it down. I think you're looking at about the best part of $22 for a 6-pack of this, which isn't really very reasonable at all, I must say. But if all you can drink is gluten-free beer, then I guess you don't have much choice here in Australia. I mean, I really would like to see more gluten-free beers made available, particularly at Dan Murphy's, of all places. Anyway, time to wrap this up and give it a score out of 10. So, let me have one last gulp. All right, well, all in all, it's pretty decent for what it is. Definitely tastes like a beer, even with the absence of barley malt and wheat malt. So, what would I give it? Well, I probably have to give this one a 6.5 out of 10. So, there you go, folks. A 6.5 out of 10 for O'Brien gluten-free premium lager. So check it out if you're curious. Anyway, thanks for joining me once again, and I should be back real soon with another review for you all. So until then, fare thee well all.